Hello, guys. Welcome to Next Step with Cherry. So, today is a very beautiful day, a wonderful day, and so exciting. So, I'm so excited because today we are going to talk about a topic that I've been so scared to talk about because I don't really know too much about how it works. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy that Fred gave us this opportunity to learn more about this particular topic. And if you're my new viewer, thank you so much. Thank you so much for choosing Cherry. And if you have not subscribed, then you are missing a lot, a lot. So you might want to go back to my previous videos to check my previous videos, like to check the study abroad plans, the jobs plans, and everything. You just have to find the one that fits you. So today I have a very handsome guest on our channel today. So we are going to just go straight to the topic. So I'm going to let him introduce himself, where he is, what he does, everything about him. Okay, so.
Great. I'm glad to be here. Hello, everyone. My name is Frederic. I am currently an international student pursuing a master's degree in public administration at the University of Kentucky. I had my first master's from Ohio University in Athens, Ohio. And, currently, I'm just like I said, I'm into a public administration program, master's in public administration at the University of Kentucky, and I also have a YouTube channel called Frederic, and I'm glad to collaborate with you, Terry.
Thank you so much because I see what you do. I see how you help people to move abroad, especially US, and I see so many stories, so many successful story of people that actually moves abroad for free. So I see like a lot of that, and I would want us to also partake in that testimony at least by next year or anytime we can also say, oh yeah, I got this information from Fred and I'm really happy that I got it. So we are going to go straight to the topic. So guys, remember to also drop your questions so that we can answer them. So first of all, I would want to ask, when is it like early for us to start our application to US? When is early? Because sometimes I remember like last application window when some of my audience wanted to apply, it was already late. And so many schools just have different dates, so we don't really know when to start preparing.
Yeah. I'm glad you asked this question. So, the US is very diverse and also liberal, such that at any point in time that you are ready, that's how I put it. At any point in time you are ready, you can submit your application to be considered for admission. Now, the major academic semester is the fall semester, which begins in August and sometimes early September. To be considered for admission into such an admission cycle or such a semester, you need to start your application somewhere in January or December, December the previous year. So if you want to study for fall 2023, it means that you have to start your application somewhere in December 2022, sometimes November, January 2023, and maybe February to be considered for the admission. However, there's also the spring semester admission, which begins in January. You can begin your application somewhere in September, October, November to be considered for admission into the spring semester in January. There is also the summer semester, which begins in May. So anytime between January, February, March, you can submit your application so that you can begin in May. So there are three major academic semesters. The major one is the fall. Most of the universities and programs will admit you for this semester. The second one, spring, beginning January. So if whenever you are ready, depending on which semester or what time you want to study abroad or study in the US, you can submit your application to be considered for admission. The exciting thing that I want to end with is that there are also universities that has what we call rolling admission. So there's no deadline to submit your application. At any point in time that you feel that, okay, I want to start my study abroad journey, there's a school out there that you can apply to. So apart from this major academic semesters, there are also universities that has rolling admission, that has no deadlines, that at any point in time you can submit your application.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That is really insightful. Okay, I would want to ask this tricky question. Like if someone asked you, Fred, can you recommend like a very good school for someone that is from Ghana or for someone that is from Nigeria, like school that, like it's recommendable schools or colleges or universities? What are the colleges that you can recommend for them?
Brilliant question. So everybody has what they want to study, and everybody has the budget they want to use for this study abroad process. So first of all, whatever you want to study may depend. The university or college you want to choose may depend on what you want to study. So not every university or college offers specific programs that people want to study. So usually it's quite challenging to mention specific universities or specific schools. What you have to first of all note is what do you want to study? If you want to study a specific program, it means that there are specific schools you would want to or colleges you want to look at. If you also want to get scholarship for your studies, there are specific colleges and universities you want to go with. So if I just mention any college or university, it will be quite challenging if you don't find your program there, or that university may not offer you the scholarship you are looking for. So depending on your preference, that would determine the university or college. Again, there are about 50 states in the United States. So it depends on which state you want to study, which county, or which part of the country you want to be.
Oh, okay. So that is really nice. So, guys, if you find this video insightful, please remember to give it a thumbs up and also share with your friends so they can as well, learn about all this. So, when it comes to you applying, you need to know the course that you want to go for. You need to know the place exactly that you want to go for. And now, let us just go straight to that point that I know everyone wants to hear. So, what are the different ways? Okay, let me just ask this question: can I really study in USA for free?
Yes, sure. You can study in the US for free, and it's quite easy. So when anybody wants to study abroad, the first thing they are concerned about is application fee. So we referring to free here means that you can apply for free, get a full scholarship, and then when you are studying, you are being paid as well. So your scholarship pays you, and your tuition and other fees are being paid for. So let's start with the application process. How do I apply for free? So there are a lot of universities and colleges that because they want to encourage a lot of people to apply, they give application fee waivers, or they can give a certain period of time for people to apply for free. A typical example is that as I speak to you now, the University of Minnesota at Moorhead has given a deadline up to July 1st that anybody can apply for free. So usually they give a code, or they give a period that you can apply for free. Also, you can, attend webinars where universities expose their programs and courses for applicants to apply. If you attend any of these webinars, then you have an opportunity to submit your application without paying an application fee. Also, you can talk to any the director of the program, the admissions committee, that you are interested in the program and you want to apply. Can you get a waiver? So starting with the application, you get a free application. Sometimes it could be $55, $70, $100, and you could apply for free. Now, having gained admission, to be considered for the scholarship, mostly it is important that every department has faculty members. Among the faculty members, there's somebody who is considered as the head of department, director of the program, or they have different names that they give it. So you need to talk to this person. That my name is this person. My name is Cherry. I'm interested in this program. I have this qualification. Will I be considered for admission if I apply? Will I be considered for scholarship if I apply? Now, depending on the feedback you have from the director, that would determine whether you should go ahead and apply or not. So some universities, granted, will tell you that, oh, we can give you admission, but we cannot consider you for scholarship. Or some of them will tell you that, okay, there is scholarship, and then there is also an opportunity to be considered for admission if you are supposed to do that. So you talk to them before you put in your application.
Okay. Okay. So, okay. Okay. I think there is a problem uh with something, so we are going to wait a bit. But as we are waiting, please, if you have any question, please kindly drop your questions. I think there is something in the background of the thing, so he's trying to remove that. Okay, but let me just recap what he said. So when we talk about studying for free, that might be, it comes in different form. One of them is applying for free. So if you want, like he said, if you want to get a free application, then you might need to talk to the director head, and then you might need to talk like your faculty, the course that you want to go for. There is always a head of department. So I can use my story as an example. When I reached out to him, I told him, like, what the process that I've gone through, and the reason why I'm like trying to make a collab with him, because I want to learn more about this particular process. So when I wanted to apply, I tried to apply, so I see the process, right? So when I tried to apply, I reached out, just like they usually say on YouTube, right? So I had to reach out to the faculty head. How did I find this person? So sometimes you might see them, like when you go to that particular course that you want to study, you have to read the requirements and everything. You might see something like coordinators, or you might see something like departments, something, or lecturers or something. Then you just click on that and you will see the people, and then you can check for the department head. So I tried to send them an email, but I tried to send them an email. I attached my qualification, I attached my CV, I attached everything, my thesis. I tried to attach as much as the qualifications that I think that can help my application. So okay, he's back.
Great.
And they actually got back to me, and they said, your qualification looks so good, everything looks so good, but I had a problem because when I applied, it was too late. So okay, it's just my story. Let's go back to what Fred had to say. I just had to do something while we are waiting for Fred. Okay.
Great.
Yeah, you
So
can.
so you need to talk to the director of the program or the head of department in the university, and then the department you want to apply to, so that you get to know if, one, the department has scholarship opportunities that you'll be considered if you apply. So depending on the response you have from the department, that is when you have to go ahead and submit your application to be considered for admission. So granted, sometimes they can tell you that we can give you the admission, but we can only give you 50%, 20% scholarship. Sometimes they can tell you that we don't have scholarship available. So you need to email the director of the program before you put in your application. This is very important to me, because a lot of people do not either gain admission or are not considered for scholarship because they don't communicate with anybody. They just go ahead and go to the website and submit the application. That if you do that, you risk not being considered for admission or getting the admission without the scholarship.
Okay, so guys, you really need to learn to reach out to the director. I know that a lot of people, when they see this particular school gives scholarship, it's more than what you see. It's just more than what you see when it comes to the scholarship. It's more like first come first serve, and this first come first serve does not refer to first apply first serve. It refers to the first person that reaches the director, then they can be considered if you also have the good qualifications. So, okay, apart from scholarship and also the free application waiver, do they have like any other source of funding like that I can also study? Like, let's say I don't want the scholarship. Is there anything else that I can do to study in US for free?
Yeah, great. So once you're a student, as you know, in the US, you have opportunity for part-time jobs. So every international student has the opportunity to work 20 hours a week. That's the maximum you can do, or 25 or up to 30 hours if you are on vacation. So as an international student, there are a lot of part-time job opportunities on campus that you can work if you don't prefer any of the scholarship. So any of the campus jobs, you can pick up any of them. Some people teach, others work at different offices in the university. So there are a lot of part-time jobs, and every university has an employment website where they advertise some of these part-time jobs that you can easily apply on campus and be considered, so that you can get some money, and apart from that, some practical working experience from there as you school as well.
Okay, so that is great. And I want to ask another thing, because I remember when I was trying to apply as a graduate in, like, I want to apply for graduate programs. So
Yeah.
I think that was the first time I heard about graduate assistantship. I did
Yeah.
not know what that means. So
Yeah.
I was really surprised when I see like this school offers all the students that apply graduate assistantship. This one,
Yeah.
I mean, like, I did not really know what it means. So I want to ask, can you explain more about this graduate assistantship, and also what are the tips that can help us to, like, likely get this graduate assistantship funded?
I'm glad you asked this question. In my first university, I was a teaching assistant. At the moment, in my current university, I'm a research assistant. So, the scholarship, unlike other countries, is such a way that as an international student, you'll be considered for either a graduate assistantship, a teaching assistantship, or research assistantship. So the scholarship is actually some sort of work that you do for the department that you be considered for admission. So the graduate assistantship or research or teaching assistantship is such that you are given some sort of duties to assist a professor, or you teach at a lab or any other thing, and it's based on that the university or the department pay your fees, and they also pay you stipends monthly or bi-weekly depending on which state you find yourself. So for example, in my first university as a teaching assistant, I was assigned to a professor whom I assisted in terms of grading, doing any other assigned jobs like developing PowerPoint and stuff like that. So that is the teaching assistantship duties I was considered. So because of that, I was being paid bi-weekly, and my school fees are being paid for. So the graduate assistantship or research or teaching assistantship duties are actually attached to your scholarship. So for your scholarship, that is the work you do to be paid, in terms of stipends, and also your school fees and other fees to be paid as well. So basically, that's the typical explanation. And the tips are such that it's quite easy, because mostly if you are being considered for admission, automatically you are considered for the graduate assistantship, which serves as your scholarship. So
Mhm.
basically, that's how it works.
Okay, so when you applied, let's say the first time you applied, did you mention something like you want to be considered? Like, how did you think that? What made you to get that graduate assistantship?
Okay,
It's
that's
like
that's a smart
automatically, and you
question.
got it.
That's a good question. So first of all, that is the reason why I spoke about communication. Talk to the
Mm.
director of the program. It's not every department that has the graduate or research or teaching assistantship position. Some departments do not, and usually that position is embedded in the application process. So while
Oh.
submitting your application, there's a part of the application that will ask you, do you want to be considered? So a typical example, high university, where that was where I had my first master's. During the application process, they ask you, do you want to be considered for research, teaching, or graduate assistantship? You can decide to select the three of them. You can decide to select which one you are interested in. So it clearly speaks to the admission committee that this person would want to be considered for assistantship, after he has gained admission. So
Mhm.
automatically, once your admission letter comes, then the scholarship or the assistantship or graduate assistantship or research assistantship letter also follows. Sometimes the two of them are embedded in one letter. So you are being congratulated on your admission, and you're also told that you have been given a graduate assistantship position as well.
Okay, so I'm going to recap something because I'm seeing questions here. First of all, graduate assistantship is for masters, I think, for masters and PhD, and not for
Exactly, for
bachelors.
graduate students. Yes.
Yeah, so bachelor's degree is mostly scholarships, which he said that you need to also reach out to the course director or the faculty director and, like, make sure that they have that admission, they have that space, and they also have the space for scholarship, so that you would know, if even if you're paying your application fee, you know that it's worth it, and not
Yeah.
at the end of the day you don't get the admission, you don't get the scholarship. So every question you have, just go to your course, find your course coordinator, and then you send your profile, like your portfolio, to them. Reach out to them, email them. You can go to Fred's YouTube. He has so many videos about how you can email your professors and your faculty members. So I have a last question, or because we have to talk about this. So I had like a few applicants that got admission as well as graduate assistantship in US, but then they had problem when it comes to F1 visa.
Okay.
Okay, so yes,
Yeah.
okay,
So I'm back.
okay. So he had a problem with the F1 visa. So
Okay.
we cannot talk about it because it's a broad topic, right?
Yeah.
Maybe when we have time in the future we can talk about. But I just want you to, like, tell us what are, like, the likely tips, or what are the things that can make someone to fail or to not get that admission, sorry, not get that visa accepted, and how can they avoid this? Like, what is the common mistakes that they make, and how can they avoid it?
This is a good question. I love this. So the entire process sort of boiled down to being able to secure the F1 visa and finally moving to the US. So it is very important that you ask this question. So first of all, a lot of people applying for the F1 visa have to make sure that they seek for assistance. When I say assistance, there are a lot of people who have been through the process. There are a lot of information out there in terms of how to go through this process successfully. So try as much as possible to link up with people who have been through the process, people who are experienced through the process, so that they can guide you. The second thing is that people should get their documents right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So the major document in terms of the F1 visa application is what we call the DS-160. It's quite a bulky document. And so if this is your first time completing such a document, there are a couple of things that you might get wrong. And so if you get someone who is experienced in the process to review it for you, a friend who has also been through the process or is already in the US to review it for you, they may be able to point out most of the mistakes that you could make. So a lot of people are mostly denied as a result of inconsistent information they put in the DS-160, right? So for example, on the I-20, there is an address. On the appointment portal, there is an address. When completing the student application to be considered for admission, there is an address. When generating a service coupon to pay the service fee, there is an address. So there should be some sort of consistency throughout all these documents, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if there are mistakes, that's mostly that is one of the reasons that causes it. Also, a lot of people are not able to express themselves confidently during the interview. If you say that you've gained admission, you've secured a scholarship, you should be able to orally, be confident and be able to talk to the visa counselor officer about how good you are, intelligent, and how genuine of a student you are. So there is a document that we call the 214B. Everybody who is denied gets that same document. Now, that document outlines the list of things that could possibly cause someone's denial. So if you are going for the F1 visa interview, my suggestion is that if you Google this document, you'll be able to see most of the reasons why a lot of people are denied. One of the things that stand out is not the ability to not be able to, show home ties, and also financial support. So if you do not have much of a scholarship from your school, you need a bank statement to supplement this. So you should be able to get at least a good enough bank statement, which is, of course, a genuine document, to be able to prove that you'll be able to support yourself. If you have an assistantship, you should be able to show that letter that indeed you have a graduate assistantship from the university you're going to study, and this is what proves it. So a couple of things, just like you said, is a broad topic. A couple of things, causes people's denial at the embassy. And my suggestion is that even if you've been denied, there is still hope. Do your homework well and reapply.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, when it comes to this visa, guys, you need to make your research. It is really, really good to research.
Yeah.
It is so good to research because I know that we don't like to read so many documents, so many things, but at the end of the day, you'll find out that all those documents and all those research are like the step to your success. So,
Yeah.
like he said, and he mentioned everything. So, guys, if you're just joining, you can go back. These scholarships, these opportunities are not only for one country. So if you're from Liberia, from Ghana, from Uganda, from Rwanda, everywhere, from India, Pakistan, anywhere you are, you can always give it a try. So one last question that I saw here: what about people that have low grade, like low CGPA and like very low grade? Do they have hope of getting scholarship? Let's say, okay, let's put it like this: what about people that have low grade in their high school and or people that have low grade in their bachelors that are applying for the next level? So do they have hope for scholarship and for graduate assistantship?
I'm glad you asked this question. For me, I believe that nothing should stop you from pursuing your dream of studying abroad, whether it's a low CGPA, whether it's money, whatever it is. Now, let's break it down. If you have a low CGPA, and recently I posted a video where I explain about 10 points for those who have a low CGPA. So what happens is that there are a lot of documents that you need in terms if you want to apply. And the transcript or the CGPA is only one component of the application process.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody on earth have their own weaknesses. And it's no problem if you have a low CGPA. So the low CGPA could actually be your weakness, but your strength could lie in other application documents. So if you want to apply, you need an SOP, you need a recommendation letter, you need a CV. I can go on and on with a required application document. So it's only the CGPA that is low. Your CV may not be low. You could have good working experience. You could have very good recommendation letters. You have to put extra effort in writing a catchy statement of purpose. If it is possible, explain in your SOP the reason why you have a bad
Yes.
CGPA or a low
Yes.
CGPA. So it could be that you have a low CGPA, but you might have probably done so much well in some subjects. Highlight on those courses that you did very well in terms
Mm-hmm.
of, yeah, and then you can also write a separate explanation letter to explain the reason why you had that. Listen, like a lot of people are very brilliant. They might probably have low grade because of ill health back in school or any other thing. So that shouldn't be push you down. And actually, there are a lot of universities out there. Now, if you're looking at the CGP of 4.0, if you have 3.0 and below, it's considered to be low. However, there are lots of universities and colleges out there that emphatically state on their website that they accept a CGPA below 3.0. There are a lot of universities. If your CGPA is as low as 2.0, you can still get a university to attend. Another thing is that there is something we call transcript evaluation. Now, people have low CGPA because they failed some courses and later on had to reset. So in terms of the calculation of the CGPA, all these, the ones you failed and the ones you passed, are put together, which causes your CGPA to be low. And so if you evaluate, you do what we call a course by course evaluation, they would take away the courses you failed and only use the ones you passed, so that if they evaluate it, that has the propensity of increasing your CGPA. So there are a lot of ways you can use if your CGPA is low to gain a full scholarship and admission to study at any. If you give me time, I can go on and on with the strategies people can use.
Oh, thank you so much. We will have time to go through it one after the other. Okay, so guys, you have heard everything. You will just have to start now to prepare your document, prepare your transcript, go back and take your transcript. Like we Africa, we don't like to take, or maybe let's
Yeah.
say because of the school problem or anything, but you really need your transcript. I have seen the power of transcript, like what he said. So, like sometimes there are so many things that might affect your CV to be that low, but that might not actually be what they are looking into. They
Yeah.
they might be looking into one particular particular course or 2 particular courses on your transcript, and that might give you the chance and the opportunity. So don't let that stop you. So if you have your HND, you have your whatever WAEC or your high school, your diploma, anything, you can just ask the course coordinator, ask and start your evaluation. You use the WES and start your evaluation, and when you get that, you start applying. So with that, we come to the end of okay, someone said please check, can you please what's the name? I'm going to check the question if I can see it. Okay, we just answered the question right now. You can go back and then you can check that. So with that, we come to the end of today's live stream. Thank you so much, Fred, and I hope that we can do this more often to help people. And guys, you can go to Fred. I'm going to keep his YouTube channel on the description, so you can go there and you can see all the videos that he has made about all this topic, and also the schools that you can apply right now, and also the school that you can apply with HND, with whatever, like with low grade, low CGP and everything. So thank you so much, Fred. I really enjoyed this and hope we can do it. I also hope that you enjoyed it too. And I hope that we can do it next time. Thank you so much.
I'm glad to be here, and everybody should subscribe to Next Step with Cherry, and like the video. You have to also follow her on other social media platforms. I'll share the link also in my YouTube channel. I'll also post it and shoot you as well. Thank you so much for getting me.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.